Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And do we have a treat for you today?
So many treats.
So Robbie, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about how to build your running shoe rotation.
Daily trainers. We have tempo shoes. We have race day shoes. And we have max cushion shoes and recovery shoes. So there's a lot of shoes that we talk about in reviews that some of you got it down. But some of you, if you're probably watching this video, maybe don't understand all the stuff we're talking about or the nuances between them. And we're gonna break it down.
Yeah, and for the purposes of this review, we're gonna stick to the three main ones, which is your daily trainer, your tempo shoe, and your race day shoe.
You know, you gotta start with a daily trainer because this is the shoe that you're gonna run most of your miles in. This is your old reliable. This is the thing that you're gonna stack up miles in and what you should be using the majority of the times you lace up in the morning.
Yeah, so a prime example of this would be something like the ASICS Nova Blast 3, which just came in recently.
Hey, you know what we should tell people? I know I'm interrupting, it's probably a chain of thought. At the end of this, stay tuned because guess what?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna show you all our current rotations, what our favorite rotation is for daily trainer, tempo day, and race day. So stay tuned for that. I'm talking Robbie, Megan, Brandon, and me.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I'll say it for you.
I'll let you get back to it, Robbie. Get back to the
That's
daily
good.
trainer.
I forgot to say that. So daily trainers, this is a pretty good example of one. Again, one of those a shoe that you just want to log all your miles in, day out. For a majority of your miles, I should say.
Some of the things you want to look for are fit, obviously, durability, and cushioning.
Yeah, because you're gonna want a shoe that lasts, 400 miles, 500 miles.
And you're gonna give up some things when you go for durability and you go for that extra cushioning. You're gonna give up some of the stuff like weight and durability. These shoes are gonna be heavier, more substantial, and a little, like we said, sturdy.
You want that comfort, so something that you feel when you put on your foot, it just feels right, feels nice to run in. You can sometimes pick it up if you need to, pick up the pace, but it's not a core component of the shoe.
It doesn't have to be boring. So for the Nova Blast 3, for example, this is a shoe that if I wanted to, I could use for all my running needs. I could use it for my daily training. I could use it as a tempo shoe. I could even race marathons in this shoe. It covers it all. But we're talking about fine tuning your rotation. And so you're gonna see something like this for us would go into our daily trainer. But if you're spending as much time as we are on our feet, on the runs, you want it to be the most enjoyable as it can be.
Now, would you say the daily trainer is the most important part of your running shoe rotation?
I do think it is. It's the bread and butter. This is the one, like I said, that you're gonna be doing the majority of your miles in.
We will put a list in the description of some of our favorite daily trainers. So while right now we have the Nova Blast 3 in our hands, of course we can't cover all our daily trainers and you might be wondering what some of those are.
I think we're ready to talk about the next shoe and why a tempo shoe and why not just a race day shoe?
All right, it's 2022. You're gonna spend a lot of money on shoes, especially race day shoes. If you are gonna invest in a race day shoe, which we'll get to in a second, you don't want to use up all those miles in training because you want to have a fresh shoe on race days. So that's where your tempo shoe comes in.
I'd also add that like for race day, you want to have that special feel. You want to have that shoe that when you lace up psychologically, you go, this is my rocket. This is the fastest shoe in my collection. I'm going to be able to perform my best in this shoe. That doesn't mean your tempo shoe doesn't do it. You still want you get your blood flowing and the blood, pressure up when you're lacing up that morning to do your tempo work.
Yeah.
You want a shoe that you feel fast in. For race day, you want that fresh shoe. Robbie, this one has been one of our favorites.
Yeah.
For a while now.
Yeah, this is the Adidas Takumi Sen 8, which came out at the very end of 2021, maybe beginning of 22 for some people. And this embodies everything that you want in a tempo shoe. You got the very light and breathable upper, mesh-like, almost a race day upper. You have a stack of Light Strike Pro cushion.
That's the premium cushion that they use in their race day shoe.
And while not every tempo shoe might have that premium cushion, you can almost always guarantee that a tempo shoe will have a lower stack height. So more of a ground feel, not so much as that cushion that you need to last for say 26 miles.
Even if you're on like a heavy duty training program, max you're gonna do is like 11 miles or around there for your midweek speed work.
And that's if you're logging miles.
Yeah, so this shoe can really cover that.
The nice thing about Tempo shoes, at least that I like, is that you can usually find them for a lot cheaper than normal running shoes.
Yeah, I mean, and when we talk about prices, all relative, so he's saying cheaper compared to like a race day shoe.
Or even a daily trainer sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
You can find a lot of times maybe in the $110 range.
Another thing that's fun about these is usually these are fun shoes because they're light, they're airy, they just are fun. Like they're good to look at, they look like razor blades, they look fast, they look sharp.
I would say this is the most fun category of shoes.
If you're doing the shorter distance, say that you're doing 400s or the mile repeats, like if you're doing a 400, you're not gonna wanna sprint in your daily trainer. But this shoe right here, this is a shoe that you could get down the paces to. It's not a track spike or anything like that, but you're gonna feel comfortable trying to push that sprint pace in a shoe like this. As important as a shoe rotation is, a sponsorship and socks are also important.
It's important for us to tell you how shoe rotations work.
Yeah.
So today we are gonna talk about Bombas real quick. This is a sock we've been running in this fall, super comfortable. I mean, look, I like this design too. Yeah. We haven't worn this one yet. We just got them in. I'm excited to put on these for the fall. This is fall vibes right here. Right?
Yeah, it is. Most important thing is if you're gonna spend the money on shoes and a shoe rotation, you can't have cheap cotton socks that are soaking up sweat and giving you blisters. You need a sock that's either made from synthetics or wool.
Yeah.
And these fit the bill.
Yeah, we're talking Bombas. We got this nice fall design. Haven't worn this pair yet, so I might have to put them on for tonight. Really comfortable, just on the run, give you everything that you need. By the way, you can save 20% on your first order by using code BITR20, link in the description.
Yeah, if you buy a pair of socks and you get 20% off on your first purchase, if you buy them, we also get someone donating a pair to somebody in need.
Yep, exactly. So that's super cool. And thanks for supporting the channel. Let's get into the
race day. This is probably to me, one of the most important psychological boosts that you can get from running. It's time to go for a race and you want something that feels fast. Usually I'd like to go into a race with only maybe max 50 miles on a pair of race day shoes and then go for it.
So I think that's a common question we have, a lot of people ask, especially for someone who is dropping, say $250 on a race day shoe. Is it okay to run in it before race day? I know everyone says don't try anything new on race day, so that seems like a good rule for this.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to find out you're going to get blisters from the shoe or that it's going to tear your feet up. So you want to get that practice in, but you don't need to do a ton of practice.
Yeah, and to be honest, the 20 miles in the shoe beforehand isn't going to affect your performance to the degree that it's going to, you're gonna lose that edge during your race.
And we're talking about the marathon distance. If you're doing 13.1, you can see that distance gets even shorter and you can reuse it. And I have to be honest, some of the super shoes last longer than others.
Yeah, and I think that's a concern a lot of people have is you hear about the shelf life on some of these race day shoes, 200 miles or 150 miles.
We'll talk about a race shoe. This one is one of the ones that I feel like you can get a lot of miles out of. And I think it's due to the AirPods up in front. And it's just because I feel like this was a better shoe than the current model that they have, even though Eliud Kipchoge just did a 2-hour, 1 minute, 9 second marathon and set a new world record. But I really feel like Eliud could probably run in our daily trainer, and
the dude could run in Yeezys and like
that'd be cool.
Like the Yeezy Croc, the slide.
Yeah,
he could definitely
and just destroy. It's got a plate, it's got the foam, it's got the traction, it's got the light breathable upper. These are the sexiest shoes in the biz.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that when you line up at a start line, you see a lot of these on people's feet, and it's, even though it helps the elite runners, it helps us.
The race day shoe is the sexiest shoe at the plate because this is where they get experimental. This is where they bring in that fast look. They bring in the new materials. It's always got something.
The top of the line technology all comes together in the race day shoe. I did want to ask you, what do you think about, say, a first-time marathoner, what kind of shoe they should go for versus, somebody who's racked up 10 marathons or even 5, whatever, somebody who has more experience running? Would you recommend going straight race day, super shoe for them, or would you say, maybe think about something else?
I guess it just depends on how invested they are in running. If they really love running and they think that they're probably gonna do this again, why not have fun with it? If you are kind of like on the fence, then I say you slide more towards that person that says, hey, I could do my daily trainer, I could just get a fresh pair of my daily trainer and run that. If you're doing a 4-hour marathon, you may not want to drop $250, $275 on a race day shoe. You might just want to just get a daily trainer that you feel comfortable with and that can keep your feet feeling pretty good for 4 hours. The cushioning on these does have a benefit other than just speed. So if you're a mid-pack runner and you still want to run in race day shoes that are top of the line, don't feel bad about it. You shouldn't. You should get what makes you feel good and happy on race day. Don't even worry about what anybody else is thinking. But the other benefit is these are so well cushioned these days. When you finish a race, your legs still feel good. I think if you have any questions, what you could do is either message us here in the comments and we can try to get back to you on some suggestions or recommendations.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is we have a podcast called The Drop. You can go to Anchor and you can do a voice recording of your question and maybe we'll answer it on The Drop podcast.
That'd be cool. Yeah. All right, so let's get into our personal picks. All right.
Why don't we go with you first, Robbie, and then we'll bring in some of the other reviewers to give their picks. But Robbie, we'll start with the most important.
So I'll try to keep this short. My pick right now for daily trainer, I think it's the Nova Blast 3, but I have to caveat this with I might actually switch to a different ASICS shoe last minute. This year, I really love the Gel Nimbus 24. It sounds crazy, but the more I think about it, like I love the fit of that upper. It's a little more, this is a little more, I don't know, not much to it. I like a little more cushion in my upper, so the Gel Nimbus has that, locks in my foot really well. I probably logged the most miles in that shoe than any other daily trainer this year. I'd say it's a toss-up between the Nova Blast 3, when I just want more comfort on a daily training run, this definitely, I would pick this, but as far as overall, I'm gonna go with the Gel Nimbus 24. All right, tempo shoe, I'm definitely going with the Takumi Sen 8. I love everything
I knew
about
this was
shoe.
coming.
Yeah, I would say
This might be your favorite shoe for the last 2 years.
yeah, Skechers Max Road 5. Don't forget that one. We're not. That's a max. I would say max cushion category, but it runs a little long. I think for everyone. So
it's weird because it's narrow and long.
Yeah.
So it's like if you try to go shorter, it also tightens up.
it still works great, and I love the outsole on this. Just grips right into any surface, so that when you're going fast and cornering and things like that. If I had to make one other one, real quick, I know it's like
I like
we're
the bounce
doing our
off the
top
toes,
picks,
but
but
go.
the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2, not the 3, strictly for tempo, is probably my favorite tempo shoe of the last like 3 years. I just love that. I mean, it's just like one of my favorite shoes.
That probably fits more into your Swiss Army knife of could do
Yeah.
everything. All right, it's race day, bud.
Race day, I'm going with the ASICS Metaspeed Edge. I ran a fast 5K in this in Oregon. I haven't taken to the marathon distance yet, but I think the Edge feels a lot like last year's version of the Metaspeed Sky. It's really snappy, feels good underfoot, a little firmer. I like that. Again, I like a more firmer feel. So
Do you know where I like this shoe? I like it under the ball of my foot. It
Yeah.
really has a nice pivot point.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
So anyways, those are my picks.
So now we're gonna bring in Brandon. He's our young gun, fastest marathon PR in the office. All right, Brandon, let's break it down.
For me, starting with daily trainer, it has to be the Nova Blast 3. It might be my favorite daily trainer of all time. Fits really well. It's just really, really nice on the foot. It's got enough cushion for those easy days, but it's snappy and fast enough on toe off with the Flight Foam Blast Plus to be able to run really, really fast on days when you need to pick it up. You know, whether it's 4 miles or 14 miles or 20 miles, I can rely on this one to get me there.
What are we doing for tempo day?
For tempo day, I'm gonna bring it back to the Endorphin Speed 2.
Even in
last
the
year's
checkered?
version. Well, exactly, right? Don't love the design, but for me, it's just one of those snappy, fast toe-off shoes that I really, really love. I was just able to pick up this, with the speed roll technology and the P-Box foam. It's just really fast, really light on the foot, and just for workout days, it just felt really, really nice.
All right, so far you and Robbie are 2 for 2. So after that, are you gonna stick with Robbie's pick for your speed day, for your race day shoe, or do you have something else?
Nope, it seems like you and Meg have convinced me and moved me to the dark side. I am full in on the Alpha Fly. I remember the first time I bought my first pair, and just putting on my feet, I had that white and pink raw audacious color, and I just thought it was way too bold. The Alpha is a great shoe. Obviously, it's a great, you can hold the pace really well in it. You can, you know, just kind of, it's really just for like steady progression, right? So if you're just trying to lock into a specific pace, this will be able to do it for you.
That's a good point about this shoe, is that it's not a shoe that like you're gonna do variable paces in. This is a set it and go.
Yeah, I mean, right now for me, I'm using it for everything just because I think it's still the best option out there. But, you know, if I was going down on like a 5K or something, I might consider a different shoe. But for right now, the Alpha is still king. It's still the one that's breaking all the marathon records and doing all the really fast stuff. So
this is interesting because he went with the Speed 2 and the Alpha Fly 1. So he's going back a generation for both these shoes.
Yeah, definitely. The only shoe actually from 2022 that has knocked it out of the park for me and breaks into this list would be the Nova Blast.
Awesome. Let's get Meg down here to give her opinion. So we got Meg here. I have a feeling, I just have a sense that some of these things are gonna get a little redundant. We're gonna start off with your favorite daily trainer. If you have your rotation of daily trainer, tempo shoe, race day shoe.
My daily trainer is going to be the Asics Nova Blast. Are we on the third now?
Yeah.
3.
So it's the Nova Blast 3. Meg, what do you like about this shoe and why is it your pick for a daily trainer?
It's my pick for daily trainer, I think, because first of all, it's super lightweight, which I love. It's got a lot of stack and cushioning here. It's got a nice roll through of the shoe. It's a simple upper, but it's comfortable. It fits true to size, accommodates my wide feet fine. It's versatile, so it can go the long distance, it can do the slow stuff, it can do pretty much all of it.
Now, you've got to work out, you need to feel fast. What are you throwing on?
Workout day, I might be pulling out the Saucony Speed 3.
Now see, it's interesting because Robbie and Brandon both picked the Speed 2. I love it that you're going forward and moving forward.
Oh, I love the updates that Saucony did in the third iteration of both the Pro and the Speed. I think this foam is light. I mean, it is. It's lighter. It's more responsive. I absolutely love the updates.
And you like a little wider platform.
I do. I like a wider platform, which they added here. So you get more stability, but you also get that amazing bounce.
What are you going for when it comes to running a 2:48 marathon? Maybe faster this weekend. What are you going to use?
I don't think this will come to surprise to anyone who has followed us, but the Alpha Fly OG, the 1. Not the 2, the 1.
Look how trash this one is. Like, this is just gross.
So this one has been worn a lot, but yeah, I mean, it can't be beaten. The lightweight, the pop.
When they run out of these, you're going to be a sad character.
It's going to be a sad day.
Will you stick around while I give my rundown?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna actually pick 2 rotations just because
You're cheating the
I'm
system.
cheating the system, but I get to do that. No, I'm gonna start with the first one, and it's gonna get boring for you out there, but it might also tell you, go get this as a daily trainer. The Nova Blast 3 might be one of my all-time favorite shoes as far as daily trainer. It just works perfect. It's cushioned enough to give you that nice, almost a max cushion feel, but light enough and just feels right for those dailies so you don't feel like you have like a giant mush pot on your foot. So that would be my daily trainer on this first one. I have to agree with Robbie, the Takumi Sen 8 is just, it's a dreamy shoe. It's got a nice pop off the toe. Light Strike Pro just feels great underfoot. This shoe would have been a full-on marathon shoe if it had come out before the Vaporfly. This would have been the most exciting shoe in the market at that time. Where it comes out now, it's just a great lightweight fast day shoe. For a race day, I love the Alpha Fly. I love the bounce off the toe. Even in the later miles, when I'm feeling tired, this just gives you that little reminder to pick up your knees and to keep going and to keep popping up. That bounce off the toes is just, I don't want to say it's cheating, but it just feels so good and keeps your legs feeling fresh. Now, the bonus one is what I would use right now because I'm gonna be racing in a certain shoe in London, and this rotation would work for that better than maybe that rotation. As I'm going to London and training for New York, I've been using the SC trainer, and it is great for just that nice soft cush. You can just gobble up miles in this. It still has the plate, so it feels responsive. The fit of the upper is amazing. This one just feels good. And you can, like I said, gobble up miles in this sucker.
It's a little heavier, but I agree with you. It's
for daily trainer though, not bad. Going tempo day, Gonna throw on probably one of my favorite lightweight shoes. It's really tough between this and the Takumi Sen. Another theme you're gonna see in this roundup is a softer, more cushioned, softer feel. And both these shoes, this is softer than the Takumi Sen, but I really like this one. You don't hear a lot of people talking about this one. It kind of got buried, but it's got the ZoomX foam. It's light. It feels great on the foot.
What's the name of this shoe?
This is Street Fly. This one is so much fun to run in. It bounces, even though the stack doesn't look that high, it feels bouncy and airy underfoot. This is a fun shoe. For London and New York, going with the RC Elite 3. This shoe paired with this shoe creates a really good training combination. They both have the energy arc from New Balance, so you're gonna see the plate coming through here, plate coming through here. The stack on this is a lot higher. This is the illegal stack of 47 millimeters in the back here. This one's more traditional, staying right around 39 millimeters in the back.
Plus, when you go from this to that, this one feels light and dreamy.
Feels like a rocket. And I did my last workout before London in this today, and I just had so much fun in it. I love it. I like it. It does have things that remind me of this shoe, just with that little bit of pop, and I think the energy arc works. So excited to see how race day goes in this shoe. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can hit us up in the comments below, or better yet, if you wanted to, go to the drop on Anchor and submit a what do you call audio question?
Audio message.
And we'll play it on the Drop podcast and answer it. So that could be really cool. So go over to, what's it called?
Anchor.fm, search for The Drop, and just hit the message button.
And we will play your question and answer it on the show, possibly. So that's it. Any other things you want to talk about, Meg?
I don't know what you talked about.
All right, mostly the Nova Blast.
Yeah, you know how much cutting I'm gonna have to do in the first 40 minutes of you and Robbie talking?
Yeah, but that's this type of video.
Like, holy crap.
And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?